Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Blue Golf Ball today with another Pokemon Online TCG video. And yes, we will be showcasing Manetric EX. And Manetric EX is a pretty good Pokemon by itself. It does overrun 20 damage and 20 damage to your opponent's bench Pokemon. But the Assault Laser is decent too, right? So if your opponent has a Pokemon tool, it does 60 more damage. So 2 energies for 120. Hey, that's not bad. But what makes Manetric great is that it's got a Spirit Link with it, so you can evolve into your Mega form and not end your turn. But Mega Manetric EX is a good Pokemon. I mean, 210 HP, a little weak on the Mega side, but Turbo Volt is nice, right? So attach 2 basic energies from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So what can we do with that? A lot of things. We can charge up a lot of different Pokemon, but for our deck, what we're going to charge up is 2, mainly just 1, which is Yveltal EX, and then of course Reshiram as kind of a third string attacker. But it's good that we have Free Retreat. Downside is that it's weak against fighting, so there's a lot of different fighting Pokemon out there that can eat Manetric alive. And so the metal resistance is okay, but we're not too concerned about that. We'll talk about the weakness in a little bit. So Yveltal EX is it's basically, you know, a pseudo main attacker, kind of a second attacker next to Manetric, Mega Manetric, but he is basically our attacker, regardless of position, like first attacker, second attacker. Evil Ball is just a totally broken move. I mean, everybody knows what Evil Ball does. Y Cyclone, you know, that's a decent attack there too. So Yveltal is going to be what we will charge, and for we put a Reshiram in this deck just to kind of exploit weakness. You know, there's a lot of steel decks out there nowadays, and there's you know, a couple of these Genesect decks out there, so we want to play Reshiram for those reasons. And then we have Garbodor here. So Garbodor, since none of our Pokemon play abilities, we don't really use abilities, Garbodor will shut off abilities with Garbotoxin, so we want to take advantage of that. So Garbodor has been around for a long time. 2012. What year are we now? 2015, and Garbodor is still around. Wow, that's impressive. So Garbodor would be here until most likely until the end of the season, which is not until August of 2015. So there you guys go. For our tools and items and whatnot, we're playing 1 Escape Rope just in case for things like paralysis and confusion, being asleep. Play 1 Evil Soda because yes, we can evolve Manetric to Mega Manetric using Evil Soda. So we're gonna play the Evil Soda. Plus, it works for Garbodor, so we can get Garbodor out this way as well. We're gonna play 1 Max Potion. It's pretty handy because, you know, we don't really have any regards. You know, we don't really care about the energy. We can heal off the Pokemon, discard the energy, no problem, because we can use Turbo Volt and charge our Pokemon back up. We're going to have 1 Professor's Letters just for consistency with energy. The A-Spec of choice in this deck is going to be Scramble Switch, and what we want to do is just load up an Yveltal with a lot of energy, and then, you know, if that Yveltal gets hit a couple times and, you know, we need to retreat, hey, you know, we'll just play the Scramble Switch and go on and put all the energy onto a fresh Yveltal, or something like that. That's kind of the plan. We're playing 1 switch just for, you know, just to be safe. We're playing Tool Retriever. You never know when you need to remove that Spirit Link, or maybe if you're getting stuck with a Head Ringer or a Jamming Net. So, you know, those come in handy. We're gonna play 3 Ultra Balls because they're just really good. And we don't really have any other choices. We're going to play 2 VS Seekers just for consistency to get the supporters back in their hand. We're playing 2 Colress. That way we can, you know, it's good draw power. And plus we'll pretty much have bench Pokemon. We're going to have bench. I don't know about our opponents, but we'll have bench Pokemon. So when you play Colress, we're going to have 2 Lysanders, 4 Ents, 4 Junipers, pretty standard. 2 Shadow Circles. This is how we're going to avoid the weakness thing with things like Landorus EX and these other big fighting type Pokemon like Donphan and whatnot. So that way our Manetric won't be too weak. But, you know, we're only playing 2, so the stadium battle is a little bit tricky. Most people play like 3, even 4 sometimes with things like Dimension Valley. But it would help out with Yveltal. That way we can avoid little guys like Raichu or even Dedenne, you know, these electric Pokemon taking out our big Zekrom. No, wait, not Zekrom. Big Yveltal. Yeah, sorry about that. We're going to play 2 Float Stones for the Garbodor. We're going to play 2 Heart Charms. You know, I think the Hard Charm works really well, especially for Yveltal. That way, the Hard Charm can be played on the Yveltal, and so guys like Landorus and Donphan, we kind of have resistance even more, right? So you know, like a Donphan would hit for nothing if the Donphan only has a basic fighting energy. It would only work if the Donphan had strong energy, muscle band, and fighting stadium. Yeah, the Donphan would do, you know, 60 damage, but 60 over 100, I mean, come on, I'd take the 60 any day. So here's the Spirit Link. We're going to be playing 3 of these actually. That way we can just have consistency to evolve. We're going to be playing 4 Darkness Energy and 8 Lightning Electric Energy. So let's go ahead and get a battle going here. So should be pretty exciting. Okay, looks like we will be going against Nabilo. Oh, and Nabilo is playing a fairy deck, and Nabilo has the advantage. Let's go over tails this time. I usually go for heads, and yes, we got the tails. Yes, I'd like to go first. That way we can evolve first. So right there, we can see my opponent is playing AZ. Interesting. We do see the Aromatisse pretty standard in these fairy decks. At some point, I'd like to play more fairy decks on my channel, but until then, you know, we probably won't. So I want to hang on to the Shadow Circle to counter my opponent's Stadium. So what we're gonna do, we'll just play that there. There's really no need to play anything else. I do want to play for the Garbodor, right? So we want to get the Troubleshout. We want to shut off the abilities right away. So this is a threat to my opponent right now. I'm just saying, hey, better do something. I got my Troubleshout. Better be scared, because I got a Troublish. We do have the Juniper. I doubt my opponent's gonna play an N, because my opponent's probably thinking, you know what, my abluegolfball, he's down to 2 cards. What possibly can he have? So not too concerned there. I don't think he will play the N, but maybe he will, because you know, maybe he has a really bad hand, and I'm not sure. But he can play the Fairy Energy and try and play the lead, you know, lead for something. We do see these Swirlix, which can evolve into Slurpuff or whatever it's called, and allow my opponent to draw more cards each turn, which is rather nice. But you know, right now we're in a very good spot. This is an excellent start for us. So we don't see an N, we see a Shauna. My opponent took a while to decide there. I think my opponent may have had something else in hand and was considering to playing, you know, something else or something like that. I'm not sure. We see the Muscle Band and we see the lead. If we do get an energy here, I'd be very tempted to do an Assault Laser to hit for 120. That would be really nice. But if anything, we have an energy in the discard. I'd like to see more energies in the discard, because if we can get a turn 2 Bolt Volt, that would be just sick. So my opponent's gonna grab a supporter card. I'm assuming it's a Sycamore. I was gonna say Juniper, but alright, so at this point we're gonna play the Spirit Link. That is an amazing top deck. I have to play this, the Shadow Circle, because you know it's gonna get discarded anyway. And well, what do you know? Darn it. We didn't get an energy. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh man, no energy. We are in top deck mode for an energy. So I'm actually gonna opt to just do an overrun. I don't know how I feel about that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna evolve. I actually want to stall. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should have just done an overrun. I'm gonna retreat into the Trubbish, and then I'm gonna play the Escape Rope. That way, I'm risking that my opponent won't get the Aromatisse out, and it won't get an energy out, and won't get a Fairy Garden out. So that's a big wish list, and you know I'm gonna risk it. So hopefully my opponent doesn't get a Fairy Garden, doesn't get a Fairy Energy, and doesn't get an Aromatisse. That would be doomsday for me. That'd be just horrific. Alright, so we see the Sycamore. My opponent has already played 3 supporters into the discard. You know, my opponent did top deck the N, and rightly so, my opponent chooses not to you know, play the N because I only have 4 cards. So if we see the Aromateas and we see a Fairy Garden, then we can retreat. So this was actually a good choice, right? So it was a good choice that we did that. Ah, man, we still didn't get an energy, though. That's no good. Boy, that's a bummer. Alright, so we're going to end our turn. I hope my opponent does not top deck a Fairy Garden. I'm assuming my opponent probably has a Fairy Energy in hand. Maybe not the Fairy Garden, but maybe a Fairy Energy. So there it is, the Fairy Energy. I'm wondering if my opponent is going to probably pay the retreat costs. And the Florges EX will attack for 60, I believe. Okay, so right now we need a top deck something. I don't care, even if it's a Juniper, I'll take it. You know, I mean, obviously if it's Juniper, we'll take it. But you guys, you know, I mean, any supporter besides a Lysander, any supporter will take it. Colress would be pretty nice at this point. Juniper is probably the best bet, but we've already used 2, so that kind of kills our ratio and our chances of getting a Juniper. My opponent's taking quite a while, and Cammy stopped by our table and say, hey, you know, you got to do something here. So we see the Trubbish. My opponent probably knowing that the Trubbish can be a threat. So, you know, I forgot the muscle band, so my opponent's doing 80. I'm okay with that. I have a Trubbish in hand right here. So what I'm going to do is I'll just play the Lysander, and there we go. If he wants to attack again, he's got to pay the retreat cost, and we're basically stalling right now. I don't understand why we can't get any supporters. I mean, come on. Where are all the supporters at? Well, here we go. We're going to see the retreat again. We're pretty lucky that my opponent hasn't gotten the Fairy Garden, nor gotten the Aromateas in play. So there it is. There's 2 energies already in the discard. Typically, my opponent doesn't, you know, fairy decks don't really have things to get the fairy energies back into play, like energy retrieval. Most I've seen, they don't really do that because they kind of rely on Xerneas to get the energies out, and then, you know, they just kind of keep moving energies around and avoid getting the energies lost. And so that's kind of their plan to make it more energy efficient. But who knows? Maybe my opponent does play energy retrievals. I'm not sure. My opponent did get, you know, the oh, there's the Ultra Ball. My opponent did get the Shauna. Boy, there's the Aromateas. And 1, 2, 3, 4 energy cards are in the discard, one of them being a DCE. So here we go. The Aromateas is now in play with the 2 energy retreat costs. We're going to see us get hit by 80 damage. Man, this is just not good. Not good for us. We will shut off the abilities. So right now, I'm basically at sacrifice mode, right? So we just gotta sacrifice, and we're gonna lose our turn right here. You know, we'll Mega Evolve, just throw out the Reshiram, let the Reshiram get hit, and you know we're gonna be down in prizes. But wow, we really need to top deck something. My opponent is getting all these supporters my opponent wants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 supporters. You know, oh my gosh, we only have, well, we have 2 Junipers, but one of them was discarded with the Ultra Ball, so that doesn't really count. I suppose one of the, you know, this N was discarded by the Sycamore, so I guess that doesn't really count for my opponent either. But you know, the Reshiram will basically stall us for at least 2 turns. Our Mega Manetric EX here should be able to attack if we ever get a energy card. So we did lose the Spirit Link. That's not a big deal. What's more important was we lost the Hard Charm, but I'm okay with that. Actually, it gives us an opportunity to actually play the tool card we want to play, which is the Floatstone. So we see the 80. I will probably just stick this on the Manectric. So right here, my opponent knows that if my opponent knocks out the Reshiram, I will Turbo Volt and get 1 energy back at least. So it's up to my opponent. My opponent is pretty low on cards in his hand. We have no hand. But oh wait, my opponent does play an Evil Soda, so he's able to get the Surplus like I mentioned. This is the other Surplus. Oh, okay. He's playing the one from the base set, which is basically counters, blocks all special conditions. Lucky for us, we don't play special condition type Pokemon, but an advantage that my opponent was able to do here, simply by playing the Evil Soda to get the Surplus, does cause my opponent to reshuffle his deck and thin out his deck a little bit, right? And I mean, it might not seem like a lot, but in real life, it does make a difference. You know, being able to pull out a card from your deck, it changes the ratio and a little bit of the dynamics for what chances are, what chances you have for drawing a card. So we got the end. I'm happy with that. We don't need a Spirit Link here, but we do get a Float Stone, so I'll play that right here. And we will play the Reshiram, and I'm going to go ahead and Turbo Volt, get this energy onto our Yveltal. Oh boy. So we can end again, if anything. I want to kind of save this Juniper for later. My opponent has 5 cards now, so depending on what my opponent does, I might just choose the Juniper instead of N. The only reason why I want to play N is because I do want to keep this VS Seeker in case of future use. So that's mostly the reason why I'll play N. Right now my opponent has a choice to either try to stack up on more fairy Pokemon and do 140 damage, which would knock out my Mega Manetric, or probably just hit me for 80 if my opponent doesn't have the cards to fill up his bench. So I'm okay with this. We see my opponent playing the N. I mean, I wish I could have had more energy cards. That way I can probably discard some more and play some, and then also Turbo Volt some more back onto my field. But that's alright. We'll go with the Darkness Energy here. I'm okay with that. We see a retreat. So wow, my opponent just doesn't have the Fairy Garden. Huh. No kidding. But my opponent does have the Max Potion, which we play as well. So at some point, I'd like to play the Max Potion. I don't think we're going to need a Spirit Link anymore. We have another Mega Manetric on the bench. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of go for nothing. I do want to play an N. I know I am giving my opponent one more card, but what I'd like to do is knock out the Surplus and maybe get an energy back. So that way we can just kind of charge up our Pokemon. I'm going to opt to play the Darkness Energy on this Yveltal, and we're just going to go ahead and Turbo Volt, knock out the Surplus, get this energy back. We'll play this energy on, I don't know, it doesn't matter. What I want is 2 Yveltals that are ready to attack, basically. That's what I want. And you know what, that's what we got. So here we go. We're going to see the Aromatisse. What my opponent really needs here is the Fairy Garden plus 1 more Fairy Energy. So if my opponent has the Fairy Garden, good. Opponent can retreat, move this energy onto the Florges EX, and then play the energy from my opponent's hand. But my opponent still won't be able to knock out my Mega Manetric EX. My opponent would need to pull off, like, I don't know, like a Juniper or something to get, or Sycamore. My opponent plays Sycamore, sorry about that. My opponent would need to play something to get more Fairy Pokemon onto his bench. So you can see here my opponent's energies, a lot of them are in the discard, and that thins out my opponent's deck by a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Fairy energies, and 7 right here, being the one that's on the Aromatisse. So I don't know exactly how many energies my opponent plays. My opponent already has 1 DC here, so it would look to me that my opponent's going to use a computer search for probably a Fairy Garden or maybe like a Sycamore. That's my guess. But you know, the amount of energy my opponent probably has, it's probably pretty slim now. Plus, who knows, right? There might be some energies in the prize card. But this, you know, the fun thing is we don't get to see what my opponent pulls out from his deck with the computer search. So here we go. We see a Via Seeker. Wow, this is a really good play. Excellent play, if I don't say so. So he guarantees. I would have, you know, probably would have gotten the Fairy Garden first, but so my opponent actually gets a really good play here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fairy Pokemon. So that's already 100. My opponent would be one short of knocking out this Mega Manetric EX. But, okay, so my opponent quits. And, hey, you know, I'll take the win. What do you guys think of this Mega Manetric deck? We just battled a fairy deck and was able to pull off a win. So, my opponent concedes, and Mega Manetric is the MVP. I'm not too sure what I got for the mystery wheel. Alright, 25 coins. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this deck? Suggestions maybe. But give it a like, and hopefully you guys want to subscribe, and I'll get you guys some more videos soon. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good day. Bye.